once May comes, I'll be back to consistency. You can count on me to do that. But I love you guys very dearly, and I hope you guys enjoy this video because I read a lot in December. Okay? Have fun. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Rae-SMR. It has been a whole year since I filmed. I mean, not really. I filmed the last video was in like 2024, like the middle of December, and now it's like January's 8th, so I apologized for that. Thank you for coming back and watching the channel. Today's video is giving my year in review and my December reads. So I apologize for not posting. I just feel like the new year took me out. Like I just was not in a posting era. Also, I just got my hair done today, and my inspiration was Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu. So that's effing lit. Before we start, I have a serious question. As of tomorrow, I'm going to be living in New York City in a dorm with two other girls in the same exact bedroom. And I'm concerned for the fate of the ASMR channel because it's not going to be very quiet. It will not be quiet at all. So if I stop uploading frequently, that's probably what it is, because I cannot get a moment of silence and a moment of peace to film. But that being said, I'm going to be vlogging on my other YouTube channel, so my Raven Miller channel. Go follow that if you want to, and if you don't, that's effing fine, but I'm just letting you guys know I will be vlogging over there, so come watch my experience being in New York for 5 months. It's gonna be really exciting. I'm doing my fashion media minor there for the months that I'm there, the spring semester. Okay, let me get to my story graph to tell you all of my year in review stuff. I will start by saying I am never putting my reading goal I'm never putting my reading goal so high ever again. My reading goal started at 25, and then I had gotten there pretty quick, so I made it 70 because that was, sorry, my cat is scratching the door. I had made it 70 because that, like, the way that I was reading, that made sense. But then, once I did that, I realized that 70 books is a lot of fucking books. And I was struggling, so I read a lot in December trying to reach my reading goal. And I read all 70, but as soon as I got to 70, I stopped and was like, I'm not reading until next year. So I had about 10 or 8 days where I just wasn't reading anything. Okay, so I read 70 books, and I read 18,652 pages. The first book that I read is Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? And the last book that I read is Joe Hill's Ushers. I read a lot of dark books in the months of January through October. And then in November I got a little bit lighter. In December it was the same. The month I read the most books in was December with 10, but the least pages. So I was reading a lot of short books to try to get to my goal because I was not having it. I was in the biggest reading slump, but I was like, I'm not gonna not reach my goal the first year I have a goal. Well, I've had goals before that I've lost, but the first year I'm actually trying to reach my goal. I'm not gonna do it. My favorite genres of the year were horror, thriller, literary, romantic, contemporary. In that order, I read 19 horror books and thriller books. I read 18 literary books, 17 romances, and 15 contemporary. My longest book was Magnolia Parks at 500 pages, and my shortest book was Bluebeard by Charles Perrault at 26. The average length it took me to finish a book is 3 days, and my average length was 265 pages. The book that took me the longest to read was We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cluer, I don't know. And the one that took me the least time to read was The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. My main authors that I read, I only read 2 books by each of them, but it was Abby Jimenez, Jason Rekulick, and Lauren Roberts. And my average rating was a 3.33. My 5-star reads were Bright Young Woman by Jessica Knoll, Down the Dream by Julia Fox, The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins, The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Sofia Coppola's Archive, Hidden Pictures by Jason Rikulik, Happy Minutes is Just for the Summer, and The Last Word by Taylor Adams. My best month for reading was April. I read 2,510 pages, and my highest rating was also in April with 4 stars. My most shelved was Emily Henry's Beach Read. My least shelved was Bluebeard by Charles Perrault, and my highest rated was Sofia Coppola Archive. I explored the works of 65 new authors. 13 books that I read were a part of a series. I only read news stories this year, no rereads, and I decided not to finish 4 books, which is a lie. There's way more than that. I don't know why it says 4. But yeah, that's the stats. Now let's talk about what I read in freaking December. Like I said, in December I was doing I'm playing a lot of catch up. So it was just a lot of me trying to figure the F out what I was trying to do. Because I was trying to get there. Okay, I read 10 books, 754 pages total. It took me about 1 day to finish each book because I was reading short stories and short books. I read mostly fast-paced books, and my books were under 300 pages this month. And 90% of my books were fiction and 10% were non-fiction. I read short stories, horror, LGBTQIA+, thrillers, romance, literary, contemporary, classics, poetry, and mystery, all in that order. Okay, the most recent book that I read of last year was The Ushers by Joe Hill, and that was 29 pages, and it follows... I have no idea. I listened to an audiobook because I need to finish this. While I was at work, I put it on as audiobook. It says... A young man who has improbably escaped death twice reveals his secret in a spine-tingling short story by New York Times bestselling author Joe Hill. I didn't give it any stars because I had no idea what to rate it. It kind of wasn't my favorite. That was kind of a dead read. I just kind of read that because I needed to finish something. That was on the 20th of December. On the 19th of December, I read The Worst Wingman Ever by Abby Jimenez. This was another short story. I listened to it on audiobook. This is about... guys, I really don't know. They're falling in love, yet they never met, is what it says. It's about this brother accidentally, whatever, it's a short story. They're falling in love, but they never met. You have to figure out how they're falling in love. It's only like 90 pages. Not even 90 pages, it's like 40. I'm not gonna spoil it. Oh my god. I'm messing up. You're fucking up. What does Carmi say? Oh wait, no, that's not Carmi, that's mid-90s. Next thing I read was Content Warning Everything by Akwaki Amizi. I'm so sorry about pronunciation. Whoa. I just stroked out. Just 47 pages. It was poetry. I read through it really fast. I gave it 1 star. I did not like it because there was no punctuation. It's just a poetry collection. The next book that I read was The Witnesses Are Gone by Joel Lane. I actually read this one. It's 102 pages, so it's not the shortest book, but it's not the longest either. This is a really weird one. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's about a man who moves into a house and he opens this box of VHS tapes. And he watches one, and it's really, really weird. And it's by a little-known French director, and the whole book is him trying to figure out who this director is and what this video means, and he travels across the world to figure it out. And there's tragedy that comes from him looking for these tapes. So that was fine. Then my favorite book of the month was Recitative by Toni Morrison. So effing good. It was 96 pages. It follows a white girl and a black girl, but you don't know which is which, and that was really fun. And it goes from their time in this, not boarding school, but this orphanage thing that they were in together, and it documents them growing up. And I think this takes place during the 60s, I think, where there's like racism, and the first black children they're integrated in the schools basically, and it follows that, and it's really hard to figure out what was who. very, it's just hard. There's like things both sides. It's like, who is this? And it's really good. I would totally recommend it. I give it 4.5 stars. Then we have a book that I hated, another 1 star. We had Murder at the Royal Ruby by Nita Prose. It's about a woman who dies on stage. It's only 27 pages. She dies on stage, and then they're like, who did it? So it follows them finding out who did it, but it didn't even follow them doing that. And I hated it. The next book that I read was a 2 star, and it was The Gift by Frida McFadden. This is my first Frida McFadden book, and my worst Frida McFadden book. I don't think I'll ever pick up another book of hers because it was so horrible. Basically, it's a play on The Gift of the Magi. It's this girl and her husband. It's their first marriage. I mean, their first Christmas being married. And she wants to get him a nice gift, but she can't afford it, so she meets this old lady, and they have a barter. And that's pretty much all I can say because it's such a short book. I can't really explain more. But it's a thriller, I think. Yeah, thriller. And it's really not great. I hated the writing. Because if she said, it's our first married Christmas, it's our first married Christmas, but it's our first married Christmas one more time, she was going to die a hot, fiery death by my hands. So, wasn't my favorite. Then I read Bluebeard by Charles Perrault, and this was a 3.5 stars, 26 pages. I had just read Tell Me I'm Worthless, which I'm about to talk about in a second. And, I'd read a few books this year that were talking about this Bluebeard tale, and I was like, let me just read the fairy tale. I read the fairy tale. It's pretty short. It's about a woman and a man who get married, and he's like, I'm gonna go away for a minute, but there's only have one rule for you: do not go in this room. If you go in that room, it's gonna be bad news bears. And I mean, she goes in the fucking room. Hello, and bad things happen, but I can't explain more because it's, once again, 26 pages. That's all you get. It's published in 1697. Crazy. Then we have All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. This was also a short story, and yeah, this one is about, I'm just gonna read what the thing is because it's only 40 pages, 55. Secret crushes, spicy Christmas treats, heinous holiday traffic, and a fateful snowstorm bring good friends together in a funny, heartfelt short story by best-selling author Olivia Dade. There you have it. Then the only real book I read this month was Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Rumfitt. I feel like I just talked about this in my last review. I'm not going to go too into depth, but maybe my last monthly wrap-up. But this follows 2 girls and the aftermath of this haunted house experience that they had, and it's really dark, and it's really just it's really not evil, it's, what's the word, it's a very angry book. There's a lot of hatred. It's a hateful book, that's what it is. There's homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, racism. There's so much, but it's actually a really well written book. It's a contemporary horror, LGBTQIA plus, obviously, from what I said before. And yeah, let me see what it says. A dark, unflinching haunted house novel that takes readers from the well of a literary gothic up through Brighton's queer scene and out into the heart of modern-day trans experience in the UK. It was really good. I really liked it, but if you want to hear more about it, I think I've talked about it twice already in my last 2 videos, in depth. So that's everything I read in December. Not too exciting, unfortunately, but I do plan to keep posting on here. I just will do it when it's quiet enough because it's just gonna be so loud, and it's New York, so I don't even know what floor I'm gonna be on. If I'm too low, we're never gonna get another video again because it's just gonna be cars, and we're not gonna like that. So yeah, but I love you guys very much, and I will see you next week. Please subscribe to my other channel because that's where you'll get more of me, because that's where I'll be posting more often.